Hello and welcome to the Cyprus BBQ Easy Setup Guide. First thing you'll need is one of these, a Cyprus BBQ. So if you've already got one, great decision. If not, get yourself over to cyprusbbq.co.uk where you can get one in there. Great idea. Right, so first thing, let's have a look what's in the box. Use a sharp knife, carefully open the box along the long edge and then down the sides. There we go. Last flap. Open it up and let's have a look what's inside. So this is what you should have got. So first up, 3 large Souvla Skewers. Put them down there. Next one is the Souvla Mechanism for the large skewers. And then the next one, the iron T-bar stand for the other side for the Souvla Skewers. 4 legs. You don't have to kneel down like I'm doing. 11 small Souvlaki Skewers. Add your own meat to that or whatever. And then to house them, the Souvlaki Mechanism. Okay, yeah, we'll fit that in a bit. And then 3 wooden handles for the large Souvla Skewers. And then 3 bits, here we go. So this is the raising handle for the Souvla Mechanism. Next up is the straight metal bar and the locking handle with a nut already on the end of it. You'll see how those fit together in a few. Okay, and then most importantly, the instructions, but hopefully you won't need those, because if you've watched this video and I've done my job right, you won't need them. And then the big component, the charcoal tray that it all fits to. Brilliant. Okay, right, first job, let's get some legs on this barbecue. Save my back. Okay, so grab the handles on the left and the right, turn it over carefully, 90 degrees, then another, so you can see the bottom of it. And then the legs, got butterfly nuts on them, so loosen them. There we go, and then just slide them over, and so they want to be pointing away and towards where I am, just for extra stability. Then just finger tighten them. So again, loosen it. There we are. Pop that on there in the corner. Tighten it up finger tight. Excellent. Then last 2. Come on, loosen it. Over it goes. Finger tight. Nearly done. Last one. There we go. Loosen the butterfly. Slide it on. Remember. There we go. And then turn it over and it's starting to look like a barbecue. Okay, the reason why we only finger tighten it is because your ground that you're going to be putting it on might not be perfectly flat. There we are. Okay, next up, the Souvlaki Mechanism. That just goes on the back there, so you'll see there's a collar there and a collar there and a bracket there and another bracket there. The brackets just slot straight into the collar, and you need to do it with the spindle part facing outwards. So that's what you're going to connect your motor to later on. It's as simple as that. Spindle out. Next step is to get the iron T-bar on. So there's a nut that is already on there. Take that off, put it somewhere safe because it's going back on again in a minute. And then with the Souvlaki mechanism in front of you, slide it on the left hand side. Got to be the left hand side with the Souvlaki in front of you. Metal bar in between the handle and the barbecue and over the bolt, and then replace the nut back onto the bolt, and there you go, simple as that. Okay, next let's get the Souvla mechanism on. So again, with the spindle that you're going to connect your motor to, facing outwards, slot this on the right hand side now with the Souvlaki mechanism in front of you. Okay, I've got two nuts on it, so I'll take the nuts off and put them somewhere safe. One there, and there's the other one. You'll need those in a moment. First piece though is the straight metal bar. Now when you've attached this, it should be vertical, so underneath the handle, over that top bit, and then the other bit that's hanging down, just attach it on there, and then get one of the nuts and just tighten the bit at the top. Again, finger tight to begin with, make sure you don't overdo it. You can always tighten these up later when you're happy with them. Next is the lifting handle, slide that over the bottom part and the bolt nearest to it, and then at the bottom of the metal straight bar attach the other nut, and then this is the locking handle that's already got the nut on the end, so carefully just thread that on in a clockwise direction. So as you can see, the top handle raises it and the lower one locks it. So anti-clockwise to loosen it, clockwise to tighten it. Okay, next job is to get the wooden handles onto the large Souvla skewers. So 1, 2, 3 skewers, 1, 2, 3 handles. You'll notice the handles have a round hole, and you're putting the square end of the skewer into that round hole to give it some grip. Make sure, just be careful that it is completely vertical so it lines up. Good idea to get a tea towel or a cloth on firm surface, hold them securely, both hands, gently tap down. So we've got the handles on the Souvla skewers. This is how they fit into the Souvla mechanism. So hold the wooden handle, slide it through the hole on the mechanism that you'll see, line them up, do the two bottom ones first, resting them on the T-bar on the other side to the mechanism, and then the top one through the hole and rest it on the T-bar. There you go. Now it turns round. Now remember, the Souvla mechanism is the one that can go up and down, so anti-clockwise to loosen it and then clockwise to lock it, and then just use the top handle to raise and lower it to the height you want. There we go, perfect. Okay, now let's get the small Souvlaki skewers into the Souvlaki mechanism. So, have the handle just on the outside of the barbecue, resting on the little cutout part of the barbecue side, and the pointed end fits through the holes on the mechanism. Very careful because these are sharp. Okay, next let's have a look at how the motors attach. So unscrew the motor. You'll need a Type D battery We've supplied you with a free complimentary motor, but not the battery. So it's type D. And then just snap back on. Okay. Right. So the pin and the hole goes over the bracket and the spindle. And we'll just show you here how it works. There we go. So pin part in the bracket and the hole part of the motor over the spindle, and then switch it on and you'll see it rotating. If it doesn't catch, little trick for you, switch the motor on and it'll grip it and engage as it turns round. Okay, now let's fit the motor to the Souvla mechanism. So again, pin onto the bracket and the hole over the spindle. So pin over the bracket, hole over the spindle, and remember, if it doesn't engage straight away, switch the motor on and it'll grip it as it turns round. Excellent. Thank you for watching, and we'd love to see any photos or videos of you using your Cyprus BBQ. Please send them over to us.